is freely given. All my regrets and my failures, all of my wrongs have been left at the cross. Now all that remains is the Father's love. Oh Lord, you take me as I am. Over and over you call me yours again. Will you see it all, still you want me? How you love me, how you love me. Your kindness and mercy remind me how you love me, how you love me as I am. So let us be together, seated at your table in communion. Oh, everyone is equal in your presence. 'Cause where I went from or where I've been, the way that I've lived or the color of skin, nothing will change how the Father loves me. Lord, you take me as I am. Over and over you call me yours again. Oh, you see it all, still you want me. How you love me, how you love me. Your kindness and mercy remind me how you love me, how you love me as I am. Oh, as I am. Oh. 'Cause all my regrets and my failures, all of my wrongs have been left at the cross. Now all that remains is the Father's love. Oh Lord, you take me as I am. Over and over you call me yours again. Oh, you see it all, still you want me. How you love me, how you love me. Your kindness and mercy remind me how you love me, how you love me as I am.
Awesome. Well, Aiden, Melody, and Michael, great to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, David.
Great to see you. Thanks for having us.
I know you guys are all sheltered down in Sydney, and so thanks for making the time. I'm glad that we're continuing to release music during this time. We haven't let the pandemic, and you guys haven't let it shut down your creativity and your plans to release music, and I'm thankful for that. I think right now, just people need hope. People need, to hear these songs, and there's not going to be long until we're back together as a church, and I'm excited about that because I think, the first few services back are going to be so special because everybody's going to be so excited to get back together again. And it'd be great to have these songs. But let's talk about this song a little bit. It's called "As I Am," and we were just chatting about it. I mean, I love this because it reminds me of that old hymn, "Just As I Am," that I think I sing every Sunday, as an altar call growing up. And so, but Aiden, maybe we'll start with you a little bit and just talk a little bit about just how the song got going. What were some of the inspirations early on in writing it?
Yeah. Well, I remember we, back in Melody and I, obviously because it's us here, we met at the studio and we were writing the song. I remember they kind of were gone a lot on the melodies for a few hours, and we kind of left and we're like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then I remember kind of forgetting about it and then them being really excited. And then kind of we went on a trip to Montana, and this was probably 6 months after we had initially written that idea. So this was probably beginning of 2018. 2017. Oh, it's been late 2016 we started this song. It's a long time ago. And I guess that's usually the case with some of these types of songs. And we get to Montana and we kind of listen back and we're like, oh, actually, I was like, well, this song is amazing. I think they always believe. But we didn't really have a lyrical concept. And so Mel and I were talking, and at the time there had been a few, some kind of hate crime things that had happened across the States at the time. And I remember we were just like, man, it's just crazy. Like, I would love that the church could actually be a place that everybody feels welcome, and that, you know, there's a place at the table for everybody, regardless of race, color, gender, whatever it may be. You know, that, you know, God actually is inviting us to the table, and it speaks over and over again in scripture about that. And we're like, well, we need a song about this, you know. And so we kind of went down this track of going that way. And to be honest, this song has probably had, probably 100 sets of lyrics in different ways. And finally we arrived where we did. And, you know, I think for us, it was always a struggle between, you know, the idea that, you know, God accepts us as I am, but then there is that thing where, you know, in his grace and in his presence, you know, we're changed. Yeah, it's a special song. And I think we had to find that line between saying too much in one song, because you don't have that many lines in a song unless you make it a 15-minute song, which sometimes we do. But I think we wanted to try and bring such a universal kind of message of this idea of everybody is welcome here in such a short space.
Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
Melody, I would imagine, you know, this song, well, let me first say, like, of all the places to have a Young and Free writing trip, Montana seems probably way down the list. It
was the best thing ever. It was snowing. It was incredible.
But Melody, I would imagine a song like this, like you guys are singing these songs with your youth. I mean, as a young person, and I guess, you know, a person of any age, but as a young person, these songs about inclusion at a time of your life where you feel like you don't fit in, you know, maybe I'm different, or, you know, a song like this that basically says God accepts you how you are, is really just a really powerful statement.
Yeah. It's amazing being a part of a youth ministry, and all these years we've kind of, you know, you see time and time again that the things that young people are dealing with and grappling with don't really change. Even though, you know, technology changes and the times change, what we've noticed is that young people always, it seems to be the struggle between, you know, identity, and when they come to a youth ministry that accepts them and loves them, speaks hope and life over them, that can really be so key and so fundamental in, you know, arriving to that place where you know who you are, not just, you know, in the face of the world, but actually in the presence of God and who he says that you are. And so that's been fundamental for us growing up in youth ministry. And so to be able to write a song that really says, hey, you're welcome, no matter what your background, your past, or what you're struggling with, there's a place for you in the presence of God, in the house of God.
Yeah, wow, that's powerful. I love when we get to the bridge, Michael, it turns a little bit gospel-y there in the bridge with the choir and the hand claps and everything. It's really awesome.
I mean, who doesn't love a good gospel choir, right? There's a thing about, especially when we write in the studio, that I crave, which is the energy of like a congregation. And so anything that we can do to try and bring a bit of that like vibe of like making it feel like church, you know, like it sounds cheesy, but it actually helps like my headspace a lot. And I'm sure like other people's, like when you kind of hear like a lot of voices and you start to catch like a bit of the vision of what it could be. That was definitely what I had in mind as we were starting to stack all the harmonies and like layer claps and like.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think really special for a song like this, it's all about welcoming everybody in. I mean, this song could go as easily, you know, modern worship or pop, but it also could be taken back a little bit old school as well. And you can do like a really cool gospel version. And so it's really useful for churches, no matter what their style, which I love, because that's the theme of this song. That's what it's about. So thank you guys so much for sharing with us. Man, incredible song. I'm so glad we're able to partner with you guys and getting these songs out to the church. And so thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
You take me as I am. Over and over you call me yours again. Oh, you see